Okay, so when you hear Red Ribbon Week, you probably think about drug prevention, right? It's a classic. But what if I told you that one of the biggest challenges for kids today isn't just about substances, but about the screens they hold in their hands? Yeah, today we're going to look at Red Ribbon Week through a totally new lens, our digital lives.
So I've got a question for you, and it might sound a little out there at first. What in the world do video games and drug prevention have in common? I know, sounds weird, but stick with me because the answer might actually surprise you. It really gets to the heart of how our brains are wired in this crazy modern 21st century world.
Right, so we're basically talking about a whole new red ribbon. You see, the mission itself, helping kids make healthy choices, that's timeless. But the challenges, oh man, those are changing all the time.
Okay, so first, let's get the basics down. Just a quick refresher. Red Ribbon Week is the country's biggest drug abuse prevention campaign. It's sponsored by the National Family Partnership, and you'll see it every year from October 23rd to the 31st.
But here's where things get interesting, and this is really the key takeaway. The risks our kids are facing now, they're not just about substances. Not anymore. A massive part of their world, and let's be honest, the potential dangers, it all lives right there, on their screens. And that brings us to the science behind all this. The dopamine connection. This is it. This is where we answer that big question from the beginning and really see how screen time can start to look a lot like other kinds of addiction. So, what on earth is dopamine? You've probably heard the word, right? Well, think of it as the brain's feel-good chemical. It's super simple. When you do something you enjoy, eat a great meal, laugh with friends, your brain releases a little bit of it. And that dopamine sends a message that basically says, hey, that was awesome. Let's do that again. It's literally the engine that drives our brain's reward system.
Okay, now this is where it all clicks into place. Look at this. On one side, you've got drug use, which we know triggers a massive rush of dopamine in the brain. But on the other side, you've got excessive screen time. And guess what? It triggers a really similar dopamine rush. Getting a like, winning a video game level, boom, you get a hit of that same feel-good chemical. It's the exact same reward cycle at play.
And here's the thing. Just like with anything else that floods your brain with dopamine, your brain starts to crave it. It can build up a dependence on that digital dopamine rush, and that can lead to behaviors that, honestly, look a whole lot like addiction.
Okay, so if this is a real thing, how would you even spot it? What does it actually look like? Well, let's dive into some of the warning signs you might see in your kids or your students.
All right, let's run through these, and you can just kind of ask yourself if any of this sounds familiar. Are they always thinking about social media or their game, even when they're supposed to be doing something else? Are things like homework or hobbies starting to slide? What about this one? Are they still on their screens even when they know it's going to get them in trouble? And a big one, what happens when you take the phone away? Do they get super irritable or anxious? And maybe the most classic sign of all, are they lying about it? Hiding how much screen time they're really getting?
Okay, so if you were nodding along to some of those, first thing is, don't panic. Seriously. The goal here isn't to get rid of technology altogether. That's just not realistic. It's about building healthier habits, and we've got a really clear action plan for that.
It really breaks down into 4 simple but super powerful steps. Step 1, lead by example. You got to model the balanced tech use you want to see. Put your own phone down. Step 2, limit screen time. Super straightforward. Encourage them to get outside, see friends, do real-world stuff. Step 3, actively monitor what they're doing. This means talking about online safety, about protecting their personal information, their PII, stuff like their name or where they go to school. And number 4, and honestly, this might be the most important one of all, communicate openly. You've got to create a safe space where they can talk to you about what's happening online, no judgment.
And that last point, communication, it's so important that we really need to focus on it for a second. Because when you boil it all down, talking about this stuff is maybe the most powerful tool we have in our toolkit.
I mean, just look at this number, 42%. The research is crystal clear. When parents just talk to their kids regularly about the risks of drugs, those kids are 42% less likely to use them. That's huge. And it all comes from just having a conversation.
And here's the catch. Here's the big disconnect. We know how powerful it is, but only 1 in 4 teens says they're actually having these conversations with their parents. 1 in 4. That's a massive gap. But you know what? It's also a massive opportunity for all of us to step up.
And this all brings us full circle, right back to the Red Ribbon Week theme for 2025. Life is a puzzle, solve it drug-free. It's such a great theme because as we've been talking about,
Solving the puzzle isn't just about saying no to drugs. It's about making all those smart choices that lead to a healthy and happy life.
So if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's that a healthy life today has to include a healthy digital life. They're not separate anymore. And helping our kids solve that puzzle, balancing the online world with the offline world, is one of the most important things we can do. So my question for you this Red Ribbon Week is, how are you going to help them solve it? How will you start that conversation?